Welcome back to PC Police Chase, where a single bad decision can turn everything into chaos within seconds. What you're about to watch are real police pursuits, insane speeds, split-second maneuvers, and situations that escalate so fast, no one knows what will happen next. If you're ready for a heart-pounding ride all the way to the very last second, then let us begin right now. On Interstate 40, near St. Louis, a white pickup truck led law enforcement on a high-speed chase after the driver refused to pull over, repeatedly fleeing through heavy highway traffic and dangerously weaving between vehicles traveling at high speeds. While trying to shake off pursuing officers, the driver lost control of the pickup truck, sending it crashing head-on into the center median barrier at high speed. The impact launched the truck into the air, causing it to flip multiple times before slamming violently back onto the roadway. Shockingly, despite the severe damage from the brutal rollover, the driver continued speeding down Interstate 40 as several police units stayed close behind in pursuit.
So hopefully they can put an end to this right here. This is a great time to put an end to it. I thought I heard them saying that somebody had their hands up in the vehicle. Now, I don't really see that, but you can see the damage caused to this truck when it rolled over the center barrier about a mile down the road and ended up on all four wheels and is now.
After continuing down the highway for several more minutes in a pickup truck that was nearly completely mangled, the driver finally slowed down and pulled onto the grassy shoulder along the interstate. A man climbed out from the driver's seat and laid face down on the ground as ordered by troopers. Moments later, a woman wearing a red shirt also stepped out and surrendered. Both suspects were quickly taken into custody and handcuffed at the scene as state troopers and local officers surrounded the vehicle. The two suspects were later arrested following the high-profile chase on a Missouri interstate. Despite the pickup truck being nearly destroyed after the violent crash, both occupants survived and were taken into custody at the scene. Both suspects surrendered without any further resistance. Footage of the incident quickly went viral on social media, mainly because of the shocking moment the truck flipped multiple times through the air and still continued fleeing afterward like something straight out of a real-life action movie. On July 14, 2024, in Osceola, a trooper with the Missouri State Highway Patrol spotted a white GMC Sierra traveling nearly 100 miles per hour on Missouri 13. When the trooper activated the emergency lights and siren, the driver, later identified as Tristan D. Lind, refused to stop and immediately accelerated away in what was later confirmed to be a stolen vehicle from Raytown, Missouri. While fleeing, the GMC repeatedly swerved across multiple lanes, brake-checked the patrol vehicle, and even drove into oncoming traffic on Missouri 13, creating an extreme risk of a head-on collision with approaching vehicles. Realizing the situation could turn deadly, at any moment, the trooper crossed the median and intentionally struck the GMC in an effort to force it off the roadway before innocent drivers were caught in the chase.
48 original charges speed, is that correct? Springfield 248.
road. We're southbound. Oh, he just struck another car. We're at Wheeler's Livestock.
Despite being hit, Lines still tried to continue the escape by reversing through the median and crashing into a gray Lexus, his 350, before driving into a muddy field near Wheeler Livestock Auction, and where the truck became completely stuck. The suspect immediately fled the scene on foot, while troopers detained the female passenger, who remained inside the vehicle. During a later search, officers discovered a stolen Taurus G2C 9mm handgun from Kansas City inside the GMC.
Are you still mobile? They're in front of Wheeler's Livestock now. That 248's vehicle was disabled.
The suspect was later identified as Tristan D. Lind and was arrested several hours after the pursuit. Investigators confirmed that both the GMC Sierra and the handgun found inside were stolen property, and while the license plate attached to the truck was also fake. Lind later pleaded guilty in Missouri to first-degree tampering and felony resisting arrest as part of a plea deal. Charges related to the hit-and-run crash and the stolen firearm were dismissed during negotiations. In the end, Lind was sentenced to a total of 4 years in the Missouri Department of Corrections, bringing an end to a chase that began with a GMC driving into oncoming traffic and ended stuck in a muddy field off Highway 13. On April 10, 2025 in Oklahoma City, officers spotted a dark red Jeep with a missing rear bumper driving suspiciously in the Del City area. When law enforcement attempted to make contact, the vehicle immediately accelerated and fled, triggering a pursuit that stretched across multiple city streets and highways throughout the metro area.
I believe so. We're going to be getting westbound from Sunny Lane. We are getting on I-40, attempted TVI, just on the on-ramp, westbound.
While speeding onto Interstate 40, officers observed the occupants repeatedly throwing items out of the windows in an apparent attempt to dispose of evidence. First, a black bag was tossed from the vehicle, and followed later by a firearm magazine thrown out near the Pennsylvania Avenue exit. At the same time, the front seat passenger was seen constantly reaching down toward the floorboard and making movements that raise concerns among officers that there could be weapons inside the Jeep.
Someone doesn't mind grabbing that magazine for us, it'll be a big help. Coming to the pin exit right now, I'll let you know what they do. They are going to get off on pin. Off on pin. Light traffic to no traffic, speeds 70 miles an hour.
As the Jeep attempted to exit onto Pennsylvania Avenue, the lead officer quickly used an opening along the shoulder to perform a tactical vehicle intervention TVI, and spinning the SUV sideways and pinning it against the edge of the roadway. A felony stop was immediately initiated as multiple officers rushed in and forced the driver to the ground. While being handcuffed, the suspect repeatedly shouted that he was not resisting and blamed the passenger for the pursuit. The second occupant was also quickly pulled from the vehicle and taken into custody moments later. The driver was later identified as Deshane Jefferson, 34, who was wanted on a felony warrant out of Jackson County. and had prior felony convictions dating back to 2018, along with known gang affiliations. And a search of the Jeep revealed a firearm matching the magazine that had been thrown from the vehicle during the pursuit. Jefferson now faces multiple serious charges, including convicted felon in possession of a firearm, and endangering others while eluding police, and flight to avoid arrest. And the pursuit ultimately ended on the shoulder of an Oklahoma City highway, where the very items tossed from the window became the key evidence that led both suspects back behind bars. And in the early morning hours of March 27, 2022, in Atlanta, a trooper with the Georgia State Patrol spotted a gray BMW 640i traveling 108 miles per hour on Interstate 20 near Bill Kennedy Way. And as the trooper accelerated to catch up, the BMW pushed its speed to 132 miles per hour while driving in the Hav lane. The moment the trooper activated the emergency lights and siren, the driver immediately floored the accelerator and fled instead of pulling over. The pursuit quickly turned into an extreme high-speed dash through downtown Atlanta as the BMW repeatedly exceeded 140 miles per hour on Interstate 20 and I-75/85 North. During the chase, the driver continuously cut across multiple lanes without signaling, weaved aggressively through traffic, and blasted through heavily congested areas with complete disregard for public safety. After exiting onto 17th Street and speeding onto Spring Street, the suspect continued running red lights and blasting through multiple intersections in downtown Atlanta. As the pursuit approached the Linden Avenue area, Sergeant Tarpley quickly positioned his patrol vehicle and executed a pit maneuver. The impact sent the BMW spinning out of control and crashing into several other vehicles before finally coming to a stop in the middle of the roadway. Troopers immediately conducted a felony stop and pulled the driver from the heavily damaged sedan before placing him in handcuffs at the scene. The driver was later identified as Deont Dougherty and was transported to the Fulton County Jail to face charges including felony fleeing, reckless driving, and speeding following the more than 7-mile pursuit through Atlanta. Investigators confirmed that the entire chase was captured on the Georgia State Patrol Dashcam system. The pursuit ultimately came to an end in downtown Atlanta, surrounded by wrecked vehicles left behind after the violent crash sequence, where the BMW that had once blasted through Atlanta at more than 140 miles per hour finally ran out of road to keep running. On the evening of February 3, 2024, on Interstate 66 in Virginia, automated license plate readers detected a blue Hyundai Elantra that had been reported stolen out of Prince George's County, Maryland, as troopers followed the vehicle near Route 7 and prepared to initiate a traffic stop. The driver, later identified as Shastari Ladunja, Gamble suddenly accelerated and fled instead of complying with officers' commands.
Just make contact again with 1254. That's 4 times now. Almost 4 people. Getting back to 66. Go for one right.
Quebec 2 rolling there. Taking the exit ramp back on eastbound 66 at 123. Eastbound 66 at 123. Yeah, I'm in the back now. Let me catch up on this first. I'll put them out. We got 4 cars in.
54, just walking back.
The pursuit quickly escalated as the Hyundai sped through multiple roads around the Vienna metro area before returning to Interstate 66 at speeds approaching 100 miles per hour. Troopers repeatedly attempted vehicle containment maneuvers to box the car in, but Gamble continuously rammed Trooper King S patrol vehicle in an effort to break free, with traffic still relatively heavy, and the Elantra also narrowly avoided colliding with several civilian vehicles while aggressively forcing its way through gaps on the interstate.
We got a good break in traffic right now. We're coming up on that way. We'll try to fit them in the express lane if I get a chance. Fairfax 2 crossing under Douglas.
4716 to Hill Drive.
Fairfax 2 left lane east of Dudley, eastbound.
After multiple failed containment attempts, Trooper J. Corvin, a certified pit operator, quickly took over the lead position in the pursuit. Just past the Nutley Street exit, Corvin executed a pit maneuver that sent the Hyundai out of control, crashing into the Jersey wall before bouncing back into the main lanes with the front end nearly completely destroyed. Troopers immediately initiated a felony stop and pulled both the driver and passenger from the totaled sedan right in the middle of Interstate 66.
There's a break in traffic. It's just steering forward. I'm caught up. I'm just going to take him out up here. I'm behind you.
After what felt like 7,749 attempts to stop the vehicle, troopers finally captured the suspect, who was identified as Shastari Ladanja, Gamble, a fugitive with an active warrant out of Fairfax at the time of the arrest. And investigators discovered that the Hyundai Elantra S steering column had been torn apart, and the vehicle was being started with a USB cable using the so-called Kia Boys theft method. And Gamble now faces a long list of serious charges, including felony eluding, grand larceny auto theft, reckless driving, felony hit and run, assault on law enforcement, and destruction of state property after repeatedly ramming police vehicles during the pursuit. And the chase ultimately ended with a Hyundai sitting wrecked on Interstate 66 and a suspect who tried to smash through every police perimeter, only to end up in handcuffs at the end of the highway. On the evening of February 3, 2024, on Interstate 66 in Virginia, an Alper system detected a blue Hyundai Elantra that had been reported stolen out of Prince George County, Maryland. As Virginia state troopers attempted to initiate a traffic stop near Route 7, the driver suddenly fled instead of complying, triggering a dangerous pursuit across multiple highways throughout the Fairfax area.
66.
Hyundai repeatedly sped through the Nutley Street area before merging back onto Interstate 66 at unbelievable speeds while traffic remained heavy. And troopers made several rolling containment attempts to force the vehicle to stop, but the driver repeatedly rammed Trooper King S patrol car in order to break through the perimeter. During the pursuit, the Elantra also nearly collided with civilian vehicles while aggressively squeezing through moving traffic.
Watch traffic. You're going to do it right here.
I gotta get around, y'all. Let me know if I can stop on. Hey, we're still getting back. There's some on traffic. I got it. We're eastbound 66. 61 over 2.
After multiple failed containment attempts, Trooper Corvin, a certified pit operator, quickly took over the lead position in the pursuit. on eastbound Interstate 66 near Nutley Street, and a precise pit maneuver sent the Hyundai spinning sideways into the Jersey wall before bouncing back into the main lanes with the entire front end completely destroyed. And troopers immediately surrounded the wrecked vehicle and conducted a felony stop right in the middle of the interstate.
Show me your fucking hands now! Show me your fucking hands! Show me your fucking hands!
The driver was identified as Shastar Gamble, who was later arrested and transported to the Fairfax Adult Detention Center on multiple serious felony charges, including felony eluding, auto theft, reckless driving, and assault on law enforcement, hit and run, and destruction of state property after repeatedly using the stolen Hyundai to ram patrol vehicles on Interstate 66. And investigators also confirmed that Gamble had an active warrant for previously failing to appear in court. Meanwhile, passenger Tyrell Leonard was separated from the pursuit investigation and released without any further incidents. At approximately 3:41 a.m. on March 17, 2024, I received an alert through the automated license plate reader Alper system regarding a stolen vehicle traveling on Route 1. I checked the Maryland registration plate, 1150 NCC, and confirmed through NC that the vehicle had been reported stolen. While traveling southbound on Route 1 near Fairhaven Avenue, I observed a gray sedan fail to stop at a red light as my left turn signal turned green. As I made a U-turn, the vehicle rapidly accelerated northbound on Route 1. I activated my emergency lights, but the vehicle refused to stop, initiating a pursuit.
He's running on purpose, so once we get a chance.
We're gonna bring the traffic right here.
I'll be coming up on you here in a second.
You just make your rear end 740 guys on the zone. I'm gonna roll roadblocks again. We'll let the telegraph right now.
Taking it slow, that we catch updated. Either you think we'll be up one.
Vehicle occupied 3 times, driver to black male, short gray. Coming up on Eisenhower, so I'm gonna roll roadblocks.
Notified VSP Communications that a pursuit was underway and approaching Huntington Avenue. Once I caught up to the vehicle, I confirmed it was the stolen Toyota Corolla, identified by the license plate reader system. The pursuit continued northbound on Route 1, where Sergeant D. Bragg joined the chase near Interstate 495. The suspect then made an illegal U-turn at the intersection of Route 1 and Franklin Street, reversing direction and heading southbound toward the interstate.
You got the exit for top on 95, top on 95. Yep, I got the radio. You guys work on that. I'm blocking right out here on the on-ramp. Again, keep it tight.
3-1 Alpha, good job, reading work.
I just ran a trooper again. We've got a couple troopers now. We'll be heading out.
After a series of direct collisions with police vehicles on the I-95 ramp, troopers decided to have pit-certified Trooper Corvin take over the lead position in the pursuit. And the first pit maneuver sent the Corolla slamming hard into the Jersey wall, but the driver still tried to keep the heavily damaged car moving. Just seconds later, a second pit maneuver completely disabled the Toyota in the middle of southbound Interstate 95, and the driver then jumped out of the vehicle and fled on foot across the median before being tackled and handcuffed following a brief foot pursuit.
People just been 50 hard across all lanes.
1050 across all lanes.
The two remaining passengers also fled on foot and were captured a short time later with assistance from the Fairfax County Police Department helicopter unit. The driver was identified as Reggie Philip White and taken into custody. Sergeant Bragg apprehended one of the two passengers, while Trooper Corvin captured the other. White was transported to the Fairfax County Adult Detention Center without further incident. He was brought before magistrate case schools and charged with grand larceny auto theft, felony eluding police, and assault on law enforcement. Around midnight on May 3, 2026, a blue Nissan 350Z pulled out of the La Herradura parking lot in Little Rock and nearly slammed head-on into a patrol unit working near Chico Road. Just seconds later, the driver floored the accelerator and fled, triggering a chaotic pursuit that stretched across both Saline and Pulaski counties.
It's gonna be a blue passenger car. Here's gonna be turning onto Deer Meadow. Negative. Coming back out Deer Meadow.
20, do you have it? Notify state, request their assistance, as well as Arthur.
Definitely in pursuit. He's taking back off.
Primary, southbound Chico, speed 75.
Unlike most pursuits that rely purely on speed, Marco Garcia repeatedly tried to disappear from police in the middle of the night, and the 350Z repeatedly shut off both its headlights and taillights while blasting through busy intersections at speeds exceeding 100 miles per hour, leaving troopers with only brief glimpses of the coupe flashing by in the darkness. At one point, the suspect even drove directly into oncoming lanes, forcing other drivers to swerve to avoid a head-on collision.
Turn around on baseline, out on baseline. Still blacked out. Storm.
Speed 7.
97, no traffic, still blacked out. Back towards 30 on baseline.
Thanks for no baseline now.
Still blacked out, speed 100. No traffic.
Gatorade, come up 230.
Approaching 39, stay low. I'm out with state now. State's in front of me. 20 on me, stay low.
Gatorade, leave this man.
Temple State's primary, baseline, basketball mode, speed 100.
And as the pursuit returned to Baseline Road, Trooper William Cash began closing in on the Nissan to set up a tactical vehicle intervention. TVI Garcia immediately brake-checked the cruiser in an attempt to disrupt the approach angle. But this time, the trooper did not miss the second opportunity. Just seconds later, the tactical strike sent the 350Z spinning violently across the roadway before sliding to a stop and dying in the eastbound lanes. And the entire area was instantly flooded with flashing police lights as deputies rushed in to conduct a felony stop.
I got him right here. I got one 10-15. I understand. Kick on the top like a retard. I'm the fucking driver? Yeah.
CFS comments headed.
The driver was later identified as Marco Antonio Garcia and was turned over to the Saline County Sheriff's Office to face felony fleeing and serious reckless driving charges following the multi-county pursuit. And the passenger riding with him was released after investigators determined they had no involvement in Garcia's decision to flee. The chase ultimately came to an end on Baseline Road, where the Nissan that once tried to disappear into the darkness was finally stopped beneath the flashing red and blue lights of multiple police units.
What's the deal?
On the afternoon of the 21st of April 2025, at approximately 2:40 p.m., in the Sugar Creek, Kansas City area of Missouri, police received a report of a theft at a Dollar Tree store. Officers quickly approached the suspect, Lauren Ruwart, as she was entering a dark red Ford Freestar. However, instead of complying, the suspect reversed the vehicle, repeatedly ramming a patrol car. Amidst the ensuing chaos, a dog inside the vehicle jumped out and bit an officer before Ruwart accelerated and fled onto US 24. The pursuit escalated rapidly as the suspect led police across major thoroughfares including US 24, I-435, and I-70 at speeds reaching 100 miles per hour, repeatedly running red lights, weaving erratically, and driving against traffic with reckless disregard for safety. This forced authorities to deploy spike strips near Benton Boulevard, deflating the passenger side tires, yet the vehicle continued to flee in an out-of-control state. While attempting to exit the highway near the Paseo, the suspect completely lost control. The Ford Freestar slammed violently into a light pole and rolled multiple times across the roadway, ejecting the suspect from the vehicle and bringing the pursuit to an immediate end at the scene. Lauren Ruwart was arrested by police immediately following the vehicle rollover and subsequently transported for emergency medical treatment alongside the officer bitten by a dog, facing a series of serious charges including assaulting a police officer, fleeing, theft, and dangerous driving. This incident serves as a stark illustration of how an initially minor offense can escalate into an extremely perilous situation within mere minutes, with irreversible consequences. On the 1st of February 2024, at approximately 11:30 a.m. in Brevard County, Florida, the sheriff's office detected a stolen vehicle traveling southbound on Babcock Road. As pursuit units closed in, the vehicle continued into the jurisdiction of Fellsmere, where the Fellsmere Police Department and local law enforcement agencies quickly coordinated to take over the inter-county pursuit.
Broadway, coming up to Midnight. Just got Louisiana.
Are you okay? Still eastbound approaching Magnolia Ave, speeds get stuck.
The suspect, Eric Donnell Kelly, drove recklessly across multiple roadways, disregarding stop signs and accelerating to flee, and continued to operate the vehicle along S. Broadway and surrounding areas even after two of his tires had gone flat and began to peel away from the rims, thereby creating an extremely dangerous situation.
We're going east on 89th Street.
Go back southbound. Back southbound.
We have one car. Alright, I'll take a look at everybody else.
Stop 67. Okay, stop, Bill. We're coming back to you guys.
Come on now, come on, 130, push on. Thank you, come on, 130, go south.
As the suspect attempted to turn onto S, Willow and lost control of the vehicle, officers executed a precise vehicle immobilization maneuver, forcing the vehicle to the curb and locking it down, rendering it unable to continue moving.
Driver, one passenger. Let me get a long rifle on my side, driver's side. I need a long rifle on the right side. Keep your hands out! Hear me? Keep your hands out! Driver, open the door from the outside! When you step out, look away from me with your hands up! Step out! Hands up! Hands up! Step out! Face away from me! Face away! Face away! Take 5 steps to your left! To your left! Keep going! Stop right there! Lift your shirt from your collar! From your collar! Lift your shirt! Do a 360! Do a 360! Keep going! Keep going! Keep going! Keep going! Keep going! Alright, step to your left! Keep going to your left! Alright, hands up! Left! Left! Keep coming! Alright, step back to me! Face away! Step backwards! Keep coming! Keep going! Keep going!
Eric Donnell Kelly was subdued and arrested immediately at the scene. A system check revealed that the suspect did not possess a valid driver's license. He was subsequently transported to the IRC jail to face charges of vehicle theft, fleeing from police, and destruction of public property. This incident demonstrates that, despite his attempt to escape in a severely damaged vehicle, the outcome was ultimately inevitable thanks to the effective interagency coordination of law enforcement authorities.
Hey, Officer Edwards! Officer Edwards! Officer Edwards!
At approximately 4:37 a.m. on the 26th of April, 2026, in Little Rock, Arkansas, Corporal Ben Ibarra of the Arkansas State Police observed a gray 2019 Dodge Journey driving erratically and traveling against traffic near the intersection of University Avenue and Colonel Glenn. When signaled to stop, the driver failed to comply and instead accelerated, triggering a dangerous pursuit through the urban area. The pursuit quickly escalated as the suspect repeatedly drove against traffic, cut across parking lots, and disregarded traffic signals. Meanwhile, slippery road conditions and limited visibility heightened the risk of accidents, compelling officers to maintain a close pursuit while simultaneously ensuring the safety of civilian vehicles. After facing relentless pursuit and finding itself with no avenue of escape, the Dodge Journey was ultimately forced to come to a halt when authorities brought the situation under control and blocked the vehicle within an urban area, bringing an end to a prolonged episode of dangerous driving. The suspect was subdued and arrested, facing a series of serious charges, including fleeing from police, reckless driving, resisting arrest, and violations related to driving under the influence or refusing a sobriety test, demonstrating how a single instance of driving in the wrong direction can quickly escalate into a situation that poses a direct threat to public safety. at approximately 9:29 p.m. On the 24th of April, 2026, on Interstate 55 near Memphis, Arkansas, Arkansas State Trooper Collier Wright observed a black Genesis sedan speeding northbound. When signaled to pull over, the driver failed to comply and immediately accelerated to flee, initiating a high-speed chase under the cover of night. The pursuit quickly escalated as the Genesis weaved through traffic at speeds exceeding 100 miles per hour, while patrol cars were forced to push their speeds up to 138 miles per hour to keep pace, creating an extremely dangerous situation on the highway, marked by intense pressure and the ever-present risk of a collision. While attempting a tactical vehicle intervention (TVI), Officer Wright's patrol car suddenly lost traction, spun nearly 180 degrees in the middle of the highway, sending large sparks flying from beneath the vehicle, and was forced to immediately abandon the pursuit. Although uninjured following a dangerous spinout, the police lost their tactical advantage in the pursuit. The suspect seized this moment to vanish into the night, now facing serious charges such as evading police and reckless driving, a stark demonstration of how even a minor miscalculation at extreme speeds can reverse the entire dynamic of a chase in the blink of an eye. At approximately 12:13 p.m. on the 19th of April 2026 in Forest City, Arkansas, Officer Kayvon Medley attempted to stop a red 2011 Volvo SUV linked to a previous incident. However, the driver, Yvonne D. Williams, failed to comply and immediately accelerated to flee, triggering a high-speed pursuit through a residential neighborhood. The pursuit quickly escalated into an extremely dangerous situation as the suspect reached speeds exceeding 100 miles per hour, weaving erratically through traffic, blowing through stop signs, forcing other vehicles off the road, and even swerving into oncoming lanes, transforming the residential area into a volatile accident hotspot where a crash could occur at any moment. After a few minutes of intense pursuit, at the intersection of West Broadway and Haven Street, the Volvo lost control, plunged into a ditch, and came to a halt following a violent impact, bringing the escape to a complete end. The moment the vehicle came to a halt, police officers quickly closed in and arrested Evon D. Williams at the scene. The suspect faces a series of serious charges including fleeing, reckless driving, driving with a suspended license, and drug-related offenses, underscoring how a single high-speed error in a residential area can lead to an inevitable accident. At approximately 5 a.m., on the 2nd of April 2026, in Little Rock, Arkansas, the state police received a request for assistance after another unit lost sight of a fleeing 2012 Honda Accord. When Officer Jackson Shoemate reacquired the vehicle at a major intersection and signaled for it to stop, the driver failed to comply and immediately accelerated, reigniting the pursuit within the urban area. The pursuit quickly escalated as the suspect drove at speeds exceeding 100 miles per hour through city streets, repeatedly running red lights, barreling through busy intersections, and driving aggressively through residential neighborhoods, forcing multiple police units to coordinate their pursuit and maneuvering efforts to bring the situation under control. As multiple patrol vehicles converged to form a tactical encirclement, law enforcement officers simultaneously closed in, cornering the Honda Accord in a position with no escape route, thereby forcing the vehicle to halt and bringing the high-speed pursuit to an end. The suspect was subdued and arrested immediately at the scene, facing serious charges including fleeing and endangering others, reckless driving, and running traffic signals, demonstrating the effectiveness of multi-unit coordination tactics in rapidly controlling and bringing to a close dangerous urban pursuit situations. At approximately 11:26 a.m. on the 23rd of March, 2026, on a highway near the airport in Arkansas, Arkansas State Trooper Charles Sperlin spotted a silver sedan suspected to be a Nissan Altima speeding northbound. When he signaled the vehicle to stop, the driver failed to comply and immediately accelerated to flee, triggering a high-speed pursuit. The pursuit quickly turned dangerous as the suspect maintained speeds exceeding 120 miles per hour, weaving through traffic and utilizing multiple lanes in an attempt to shake off the tail, while patrol cars were forced to accelerate 130 miles per hour to keep pace. The suspect even crossed the median to switch directions on the highway, creating an extremely grave risk of a head-on collision. During the tense pursuit, police units coordinated via radio to implement containment tactics, including preparing to deploy stop sticks ahead to force the vehicle to halt while maintaining high-speed pursuit pressure to bring the situation under control. The suspect faces a series of serious charges, including fleeing in a manner that endangers others, reckless driving, and extreme speeding, underscoring that pursuits reaching speeds in excess of 120 miles per hour are not only inherently high risk, but also demand precise, coordinated tactics to avert a traffic catastrophe. At approximately 12:32 a.m. on the 29th of March 2026, in North Little Rock, Arkansas, the Arkansas State Police, in coordination with the North Little Rock Police Department, pursued a black 2021 Dodge Durango near the I-40 area. When signaled to stop, the driver failed to comply and instead accelerated to flee, triggering a high-risk urban pursuit. The suspect drove recklessly at speeds exceeding 90 miles per hour, continuously weaving through streets, crossing double yellow lines, entering oncoming lanes, and even slamming on the brakes abruptly to evade interception attempts, forcing multiple police units to coordinate a pursuit under dangerous conditions within a residential area. The pursuit came to an end when the Dodge Durango lost control, veered off the road, and crashed into a roadside obstacle, rendering the vehicle unable to continue moving and forcing it to come to a halt. Police units swiftly surrounded and subdued multiple individuals inside the vehicle, taking them into custody on a host of serious charges including fleeing, reckless driving, An assault with a deadly weapon, demonstrating that in an urban environment, even a minor error at high speeds is enough to bring a pursuit to a sudden, instantaneous end. At 10:56 p.m. on the 22nd of March, 2026, in Van Buren, Arkansas, Officer Landon Reether spotted a black 2019 Tesla Model 3 traveling at 80 miles per hour in a 40 miles per hour zone on the Midland Bridge. When signaled to stop, the driver failed to comply and immediately accelerated to flee, initiating a nighttime urban pursuit. The suspect repeatedly executed sharp turns through numerous city streets in an attempt to shake off the police, leveraging the electric vehicle's rapid acceleration to maintain a lead, while patrol cars remained in close pursuit, transforming the streets of Van Buren into a high-speed labyrinth where the threat of an accident loomed at every turn.
Southbound 59.
The entire pursuit, winding through curves and narrow streets, was maintained under coordinated surveillance, as authorities brought the situation under control and forced the vehicle to a halt, bringing an end to the chase within the urban area.
We're on South 3rd, just south of 59. All right, crawl out that passenger side. Yep. You're the only one left in that car, right? Okay. Crawl out that passenger side. You'll move over there. Turn around, face that way.
The suspect faces multiple serious charges, including fleeing, reckless driving, speeding, and failure to comply with lawful orders, demonstrating that even with a modern electric vehicle boasting powerful acceleration capabilities, any deliberate attempt to evade authorities within an urban environment is quickly neutralized through the coordinated pursuit tactics of law enforcement.
Not on you? Anything we're going for? All right, come over here. Can you hold him right here for me? I haven't searched him yet.
On the afternoon of the 8th of March, 2026, in Little Rock, Arkansas, Officer Ronald Weiss Jr. was monitoring traffic at a busy intersection when he spotted a light beige Chevrolet Tahoe displaying signs of a traffic violation. Upon checking the vehicle's registration and activating his emergency lights to initiate a stop, the driver failed to comply and continued driving, thereby triggering a pursuit that escalated from a routine traffic stop. The suspect veered off the main road and sped into a residential area to evade capture, maneuvering the vehicle through narrow streets in an attempt to shake off the police. This quickly escalated the situation, as the pursuit unfolded within a densely populated urban environment, posing significant risks to the public. Under the continuous pursuit of Officer Weiss Jr., the vehicle was brought under control and forced to stop. The entire process of the chase and approach was clearly recorded by the Dashcam system.
Put your hands on your back. Hands on your back. Is there anybody else big? Anybody else? Hands on your back. Now. You gotta have a gun on me. You didn't have to run either. Yes, hands on your back. Let me tell you something. I got to make this thing on me. I don't feel you don't. You hear me? Hey, you don't want to talk to me? Get up. Can you let me up, please? Yep. Oh, no. All right, mess it up. Oh, what'd you run for, man? Oh, shit. What you got anything on you? What's up? What's behind me for? Because I'm gonna pull you over because you ain't got no insurance. How you read my insurance? Because when I run your tag, it comes back to no insurance. The big question is why you learn though. Because I got probably a misdemeanor warrant. A misdemeanor warrant. Yes, sir. So you probably wouldn't even go to jail for that, dude. Come on. So you really did the dookie, man. That would have came to me. Can you let my see this? Come on, let's know. Let it go, please. No.
The suspect was subdued and faces charges including fleeing, driving without insurance, obstructing official duties, and resisting arrest, demonstrating that even a simple traffic stop can escalate into a dangerous situation if the driver chooses to flee.
Can you fix it for me? They ain't nothing wrong with it. Yes, they got them just like handcuffs. It hurt. Okay, they have. So now I'm supposed to be comfortable. Sit down. Yes, they do. At least a little. Get in there and sit down. I am. All day in there. The things hurt. That's what I'm saying. I'll fix it in a minute. Sit down. So get in there and sit down. Yeah, I'm going. Where they hurt?